Without tearing down a single wall or shelling out thousands of dollars for repairs, you're going to learn some really effective psychology-based decorating techniques that will make any tiny flat appear significantly larger. Professional designers in some of the smallest, priciest cities in the world, such as Paris, Tokyo, and New York, apply these tried and true, useful tricks. The secret methods are probably in the decor if you've ever entered a small flat that seems roomy, even when it isn't. In addition to sharing those secrets with you today, we'll walk you through the process of putting them into practice in your own place. Let's begin with an emotion that you are likely all too familiar with. When you first move into a new flat, you may be surprised by how small the space is. The couch might not fit perfectly. The kitchen could seem like a closet. Perhaps as soon as you try to adorn a corner, it looks to get smaller. Here's the reality, though. Perception and measurement are both important aspects of space. Additionally, you may transform a 400-square-foot studio into a penthouse by mastering the manipulation of light, color, texture, and arrangement. This video serves as your guide, and by the end, you'll have a toolkit of simple, low-cost ideas that will change the appearance and feel of your house. Let's start by discussing color. Possibly the cheapest and most revolutionary way to visually enlarge a space. Your best companion is light tones. Pale blues, beige, light grays, whites, and off-whites. They provide a feeling of airiness, reflect light, and lessen visual clutter. However, the majority of people overlook a subtlety. Painting your walls white isn't enough. It all comes down to intelligently and consistently employing color. This entails selecting furnishings with complementary hues to avoid anything appearing overly ornate. It entails choosing curtains that complement the color of the wall, so they blend in rather than drawing attention to themselves. It entails being mindful of undertones, balancing cool and warm, and ensuring that your room feels unified. Without even recognizing it, a single, haphazard color might give the impression that a space is smaller. Let's now discuss where to put the furniture. One of the most underutilized yet effective tiny space design tips. Most people believe that more space is created when furniture is pushed up against the wall. In truth, floating your furniture, even just a few inches from the wall, may make a space feel bigger by creating breathing room. It prevents the terrible furniture on display aspect that frequently occurs in tiny rooms and gives the impression of depth. Selecting lanky furniture is another effective tactic. Light may flow below sofas, chairs, and tables that have visible legs rather than solid bases, instantly creating a lighter and airier space. Additionally, if possible, choose multi-purpose items like coffee tables that conceal and raise debris, beds with drawers, and ottomans with storage. Every inch counts and each component should be worth keeping. Let's talk about mirrors next. The best illusionist in interior design. In addition to reflecting light, a strategically positioned mirror doubles the perception of space. In a room, large wall mirrors can function as an extra window. You've just added a second source of natural light and the appearance of more space if you can position one right across from a real window. Mirrors don't have to be enormous, though. Even tiny ones can provide depth and movement to a space when creatively arranged or positioned behind items like plants or light. Bonus tip. Mirrored furniture can feel invisible and blend in with the surroundings, such as a console or nightstand, which maintains the room looking airy. This brings us to the vertical dimension. Ignoring the walls in small apartments is one of the most common blunders individuals make. Your vertical area is a treasure trove. Use wall-mounted lights, towering bookcases, shelves, and hanging plants to create a vertical space, rather than large furniture that takes up valuable floor space. Even if your ceilings aren't very high, use the entire height of your walls to create a sense of grandeur and attract the eye upward. Above doorways, install floating shelves. To lengthen the room, hang long curtains from the ceiling to the floor and place artwork above eye level. It involves deceiving the brain into perceiving extra space when none exists. Consider your walls as a chance to add character and depth without sacrificing any walking space, rather than merely as barriers. And further important component of this visual magic is lighting, both artificial and natural. A single harsh ceiling light will make the room appear smaller and flatter. However, several layers of light, think wall sconces, floor lamps, table lamps, and fairy lights, add depth, warmth, and shadow. Use 2.7K to 3000K warm light bulbs to create an atmosphere that is both open and comfortable. Additionally, during the day, try to keep your windows open as much as you can. Use certain curtains if you require seclusion. The more natural light you allow in, the larger your area will feel. The majority of decorators are aware of this secret. Our brains equate soft light with space, so even a photograph or video of a room with warm lighting will appear larger. We also need to address one of the trickiest elements in any small flat: visual jumble. Visual clutter is more important than physical clutter. However, the latter is as important. That's what the eyes are overwhelmed by. Too many clashing colors and patterns. Furniture with vastly disparate styles. A space can feel disorganized, even with a few extra ornamental items on a shelf. Intentional minimalism, the antidote, starts with a neutral base and adds layers of textures and tones instead of colors and shape. Choose a few larger ornamental items rather than a lot of tiny ones. Maintain clean walls, open floors, and clear countertops. Your space doesn't have to feel sterile because of this. It implies that whatever you put there needs space to shine. Let's now integrate all of this into a real-world situation. Consider entering a tiny flat in the heart of the city. As you enter, there's a light-toned rug anchoring a lanky sofa with a couple soft textured pillows. A big window with silk drapes reflects in a mirror that runs across the wall above the couch. The eye is drawn upward by a vertical plant stand in the corner, and a warm floor lamp casts a comforting warmth. The walls are painted a gentle beige with matching trim, and the coffee table features concealed storage. Nothing is weighty. Nothing seems packed. And all of a sudden, you lose sight of the apartment's true size. That's how clever decor works. Let's review the top 7 decorating tips that will quickly expand the appearance and feel of your tiny flat. Before we wind up, make sure your curtains, furniture, and walls all have light hues. Select pieces of furniture that are somewhat off the walls and have legs visible. Use mirrors to give the impression of depth and to reflect light. Make the most of vertical space by using eye-catching draperies, artwork, and tall shelving. To create visual separation and warmth, layer your lighting. Simplify your color and decor selections to reduce visual clutter. Lastly, use multi-purpose furniture that conceals storage. By altering what the eye perceives and how the brain interprets it, each of these psychological tricks enlarges space. The best aspect is that you may use them without having a large budget or becoming an interior designer. All you need is a well-defined strategy, a little imagination, and the courage to try new things. It's not about how much space you have, so keep that in mind the next time you feel constrained by the size of your house. What you do with it matters. Your flat may feel 10 times cozier, twice as spacious, and twice as light. You now understand just how to accomplish that. Stay up for our upcoming film, in which we'll demonstrate certain flat layout concepts for various forms, such as tricky corner spaces and long, narrow studios. Remember to share this with someone who needs a little more space in their life. Like it, and leave a comment.